that you're not going from boyfriend to boyfriend and putting all these random people in your children's life? Why would you start dating someone who's abusive to their child?
Truth, power, justice, true justice empire.
Court is calling 2022 CR 0841C, State of Texas versus Kayla Connor. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal.
For the defense?
Claire.
Right. And Ms. Connor, you need to come forward. Are you Kayla Connor? All right. You entered a plea on June 1st. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. Who was the person who took this plea? Okay. All right. For the record, the court has reviewed the stipulations and the court is finding there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court is will not find you guilty as you apply for deferred adjudication. How did she enter her plea? Was it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I believe there was no contest. Yeah.
All right. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry.
Any objections to the PSI report?
Not for the state. No, no objection, Your Honor.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, she's trying to get back on the street, and I think she's doing that well. She's got kind of mixed up with this group of people here, and she's now with her boyfriend and her boyfriend's family, and they have two children together, and she's expecting again in December. So we're hoping that the court follows the recommendation now.
All right. So is there anything you wish to say, Ms. Connor? All right, you're going to have to speak up.
No, ma'am.
All right, can I have you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. So where is Alexander White, your child?
That is not my child. That was my ex-boyfriend's son. He was taken by the state back last year sometime, so I'm not aware. I haven't had any contact with him.
How many children do you have?
I have 3 of my own and 4 including this one.
Okay, and where were your children during this beating of a child with your ex-boyfriend?
They were in the
Seems
room
like
with
it
me.
might be a good case for deferred. This is first.
It happened and he had his own, him and I worked together when this happened in the apartment. We hadn't started dating yet. And I was in the room dealing with my children and he was doing his own thing with his child.
So did you start dating after this?
Yeah.
Why would you start dating someone?
I wasn't aware
No.
that he was.
Listen to my question. Why would you start dating someone who's abusive to their child?
Because I wasn't aware of the extent. He was telling me one thing, that it was just a simple spanking. I was not aware of how he was actually handling his child. I had just met him at the time of this happening.
I'm sorry, what?
I had just met him at the time of this happening.
Mhm.
We hadn't even known each other. I don't even think a month.
So you hadn't known each other a month when this happened.
He was my uncle's brother, so I figured he would be somebody I'd be able to trust, considering my adoptive uncle. I've known him for a while. I didn't think anything harmful of the situation.
Just very, very briefly.
Yes.
There are 3 co-defendants here, and one is Brandon White, one is Alexander White, and the other is Kayla White. So there's another Kayla. This is Kayla Connor. The others are charged with injury to a child, and Ms. Connor is charged with violation.
Okay.
I just want to make sure, because I got kind of confused.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But I will tell you what it never ceases to amaze me, and I never understand why people who have children get involved so easily with other people. I never understood that. Now, what she's telling me is she knew him for a month and this had happened. And how old was the complainant?
At that time, it was
11, somewhere down there.
10, 11.
The fact that you don't know what's going on with somebody that you're dating or you dated after the fact tells me that you're not thinking with a straight head. Are you employed?
Right out of the gate, this ISNT, just a courtroom, it's a confrontation. The judge ISNT easing in, she's going straight to the core issue, decision making and child safety. And that question, that's not just legal, it's deeply personal. What would you say in that situation?
And how many children do you have?
I have 3.
All right. So you have 3 children, a baby on the way, and you're not employed. That's a problem. Because what ends up happening, and I've seen it, is you depend on somebody else for financial support. People are just having children all over the place, and they're not financially supporting them. And they're going from one boyfriend to the next boyfriend. And I tell people all the time, there are maybe some great guys out there. There may be some great women out there. And I love children, but children are baggage. You need to consider every child you have a suitcase, and it's a heavy suitcase. And you got to ask yourself, the person I'm getting with, do they really want to carry these suitcases with me? And it's not like at the airport where you can put them in a cart. It's you dragging a suitcase, and it's the old-fashioned suitcase. It's not the type with the wheels. It's somebody picking those suitcases up and handling them with care. And usually what ends up happening is, and you know this, counsel, because you've done CPS cases, you end up with some random guy who you think is this great guy. Y'all decide to have another child. The child that's biologically his, he treats great. The other children get the shaft. So I hope that you're not going from boyfriend to boyfriend and putting all these random people in your children's life. But you need to get a job, because who's supporting you?
The man I'm with right now.
Yeah. And so now you're dependent on him to support you, to support your children, to keep a roof over your head. And I hope you're not letting him be in charge of disciplining children that are not his biological children.
They are his biological children. I got that from their father.
So you're just moving from person to person. You're with this other boyfriend and now you're with him?
No, we ended up getting back together.
If you're drug tested, what are the results going to be?
I should come clean.
I'm sorry, what?
That I should be clean. I haven't been smoking or anything.
When's the last time you smoked?
Month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
And how far along are you?
4 months.
So you're smoking while you're pregnant?
I didn't know I was pregnant at the time, ma'am.
You don't know you're pregnant in 2 months?
No, I still had my period and everything. I was not aware.
Okay. Probation, I apologize. But you know there are going to be field visits. So they've agreed to your application for deferred adjudication. I mean, if I could make it so you not have a boyfriend in your life, I would, but I can't do that. I'm hoping that you're protecting your children. I'm hoping that people will learn that they need to be financially responsible for their children, because when they're not, the people who are financially responsible are the taxpayers. I love children. I don't have any children, but I can't tell you the number of children I've paid for a babysitter through taxes. I paid for their daycare through the taxes. But people need to start taking care of their children financially, and people need to start making great decisions for their children, because guess what? None of your children can take care of themselves. You can't send them to Travis Park and say good luck to you, and you keep bringing these random people in. So this is what the court is going to do. The court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. You pled as a co-defendant to Brandon White, Christopher White, and Kayla White. There's to be no contact with Brandon White, Christopher White, Kayla White. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. There's 200 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you get it or if you've already had it, 40 of those hours will be waived. There's going to be parenting classes, and that'll be the triple T. Remaining of the community service hours will be waived upon completion of those classes.
Quick breakdown here. Deferred adjudication is basically a second chance. The court is saying we have enough to convict you, but we're holding off. Mess up again. That guilty verdict comes right back. High stakes from this moment forward.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be field visits 3 times per month. Please tell probation to check on the children. There's to be random UAs. And please have her tested today for levels. Proof of employment. How old are your other children?
My oldest is 3, and my boys are 1.5 years.
So you're doing stair steppers, as my grandmother would say, like you're going down the steps. 3, 2, 1, baby. So where are your children now?
At home,
Who's watching them?
their father,
What does he do for a living?
he's an HVAC technician.
What does that mean?
He works on AC units.
What are his hours?
They range.
All right, we're going to do proof of employment within 3 months. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Here's the thing. I do believe, I hope I'm right in believing that you love your children. If you love your children, you know, you've got to be their number one protector and look out for them. And you can't have random people looking out for them. Now, I don't know what happened between you and the relationship and the father of your children that caused you all to break up. But what I do know, if that hasn't been addressed, guess what? You're back in a relationship with the same problems you had before. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. 2022 CR 5352, State of Texas versus Paul Vasquez Jr. State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge. We'd like to move to amend the indictment. The indictment is missing a number in the prior felony conviction, and so we're asking to amend it, the cause number from 2017 CR 923W to 2017 CR 9223W.
You know what? And I looked at that and I said, oh, no, it's the same. But you know how the eye tricks you and you just add the numbers? All right, any objection?
No objection.
Mr. Vasquez, that's a substantive change to the indictment. Do you have any objections to proceeding with that substantive change? All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand that what you're charged with is felon in possession of a weapon? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
And here's the turning point, the judge ISNT buying the explanation, and you can feel the tension shift. This is where the case stops being about what happened and starts being about judgment and responsibility. Do you think not knowing is a valid excuse, hey?
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him? Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense? Mr. Vasquez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There's a $1,000 fine. There are no applications for deferred adjudication. The state recommends community supervision. They will take in consideration 2022 CR 5353, and there's $57 to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement? Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement? State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution, and you are in agreement to forfeit and destroy the weapon. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the amended indictment, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
Yes, State Offer States Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objection.
Mr. Vasquez, I'm showing you what's entitled Wavering Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court is finding there is sufficient evidence to finding you guilty, and the court is finding you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, he wants the court to know that we're sincere about continuing his probation, and we ask the court to accept that. He has brought with him the support system, his sister, and a minister at one of the MLM. Adelante.
Okay.
Yeah, the program, the new life ministry. They seem to have a good program. He still is work, known him a long time. Matter of fact, Joe has been a former probation officer, so I think they start. They have all the programs necessary for them.
Well, I'm glad you followed my advice to leave here and get help, okay? And I see this happen on Christmas.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good Christmas.
No, it was not.
All right. But here's the thing. Christmas is still coming. A new Christmas is going to come. You got to make sure that you're in a better mind frame. Okay. All right. Are you employed?
Yes.
And what do you do?
I do a lot of, well, my dad owns a car, so, the maintenance work they're making. Electrical is my main hobby.
Okay.
I do a lot of it.
Okay.
I want the court to know that there are all kinds of ways to travel, but it's not short notice. We all know.
No, that'll be fine. He'll have my permission to travel for work. And so you'll just need to call them and let them know that you're traveling for work and just where it's going to be. But I'll give you prior approval for that if there's no objection from the state.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So how often are you seeing someone to help you stay clean and sober?
And I do favors for my friends and I give them rides and I end up staying there. So, just volunteer.
Okay.
It's all volunteer.
Okay. So you're going to have to start doing that on a regular basis because I'm going to order it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? Okay. Okay.
Good.
Normal as in normal clean,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
normal as in normal positive? Okay. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sentence you to 2 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 2 years. I'm going to do $1,000 fine. That will be probated. Taking consideration 2022 CR 5353. Brenna, is it just me or did it get hot in here all of a sudden? Oh my gosh. That is why I don't like wearing the robe. Well, one of the many reasons for wearing it in here, because it's super hot. All right, there's going to be $57 restitution to SAPD, and that's for the drug testing. I'm going to do 150 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do or you have, provide proof of probation and 40 of those hours will be removed. The weapon is to be destroyed. I'm going to go ahead and do a referral to felony drug court, just so you can look at their program and see how it is. Felony drug court is an outpatient program, but they'll be able to keep an eye on you. And even though that program is a difficult program, they will allow you to work. You just have to make sure that you let them know. If for some reason he's not accepted in felony drug court, or if you decide not to do felony drug court, then we're going to have to do a TAP evaluation and do intensive outpatient treatment. And with the intensive outpatient treatment, if there's some of the program you're in, they will be accepting of that. So we're going to do a referral to drug court, TAP evaluation, and then intensive outpatient treatment if not accepted with felony drug court. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, proof of employment within 20 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. And who are you going to be staying with?
At my house.
I'm sorry?
I'm where I live at, the address is.
Okay. All right. And is that your mom's address?
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to give that address to probation. I'm not going to say it on the
Yeah,
record. Okay. So make sure you follow the rules, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've heard my speech. So if somebody tells you they don't want the TV on at 10 p.m., you got to turn it off.
Right. Yes.
And in my day, when we were growing up and somebody tells you to have the TV off at 10, guess what? We couldn't record it. You just missed that program because they didn't have recording at that time. Then when you did get the VCR, it still didn't record. That only came after you spent $600 for a VCR.
Yeah.
Although Brenda and my family, we waited till that VCR was $100. I know that still was expensive, but we didn't pay the $600. All right, so you to reside with your mom, and I'm going to do field visits 2 times per month, and we'll do that for let's do that for 3 months to see how he is, and then regular UAs. All right, Mr. Vasquez, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Vasquez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the, oh, and I'm sorry, also because this is a felony conviction, which you should know by now, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. I'm going to ask you again. So were those tattoos painful?
At first, but that used to.
All right, keep the hand part wasn't painful either.
Yeah, that one was.
Okay. And you didn't think to stop. You're like, I'm in it. I'm going to finish it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Okay.
This is more than criticism, it's a pattern the judge has clearly seen before: financial instability, unstable relationships, and children caught in the middle. The court is connecting dots beyond just this one incident, and that's what makes this moment so intense.